Hi, I'm Father Barnabas Powell. I'm the pastor of Saints Raphael, Nicholas, and Irene Greek Orthodox Church in Cumming, Georgia. And this is our second installment of our Sunday morning homily. The homily comes right after the gospel lesson in the Orthodox Divine Liturgy, where we get a chance to talk about and explain the power and the ministry and to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ, this timeless gospel that's been around for 20 centuries. This Sunday, we have a very special guest speaker. Father Paul Stoll is going to be talking to us about the Sunday of the Paralytic. This Sunday, you get to ask yourself a very serious question. What paralyzes your faith? What paralyzes your spiritual growth? What is it that's keeping you from becoming an integral part of the community of faith that is the Church of Jesus Christ? I hope you enjoy it. God bless you.
Wisdom arise, let us hear the holy gospel. Peace be unto all. The lesson is taken from the gospel according to John. Let us be attentive.
Glory to you, Lord, glory to you.
Okay. At that time, Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem by the sheep gate a pool, in Hebrew called Bethsaida, which has 5 porticos. In these lay a multitude of invalids, blind, lame, paralyzed, waiting for the movement of the water. For an angel of the Lord went down at certain seasons into the pool and troubled the water. Whoever stepped in first after the troubling of the water was healed of whatever disease he had. One man was there who had been ill for 38 years. When Jesus saw him and knew that he had been lying there a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be healed?" The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is troubled. And while I am going down, another steps before me." Jesus said to him, "Rise, take up your pallet and walk." And at once the man was healed, and he took up his pallet and walked. Now that day was the Sabbath. So the Jews said to the man who was cured, "It is the Sabbath, it is not lawful for you to carry your pallet." But he answered them, "The man who healed me said to me, 'Take up your pallet and walk.'" Then they asked him, "Who is this man who said to you, 'Take up your pallet and walk'?" Now the man who had been healed did not know who it was, for Jesus had withdrawn, as there was a crowd in the place. Afterward Jesus found him in the temple and said to him, "See, you are well. Sin no more, that nothing worse befall you." The man went away and told the Jews that it was Jesus who had healed him. Good morning, everyone. It's a great day to be here. It's wonderful outside. It's tad warm, but we have air conditioning. Those of you, most of you who know me, know that I grew up Roman Catholic. I grew up in a cathedral. And in a cathedral, there's much ado, much going on. And between the years of my kindergarten and the senior year in high school, because my parents were very, very devout, I estimate that I was probably in church about 10% of my life. Serving as an acolyte, singing in the little boys' choir in a falsetto voice, or singing in the adult choir, cleaning the altar, or whatever. And so I heard this morning's gospel several times. Of course, being young, the first thing that came to my mind was, you know, that Bible, that's pretty thick. A lot of scripture in there. Why do we have to hear the same thing over and over? Boring. Of course, as I got a little older, I realized that we need to hear things over and over. Those of us who've raised children know that if we tell a child once, you don't want to eat that cookie, I don't want you to, we turn around and they're eating the cookie. Children need to hear things over and over. And wives, with husbands, that if you tell your husband something once, they're probably not going to do it. Of course, we're not going to hear it. It's a genetic kind of thing. But as I'd listened to the gospel, as he became a little more understanding, I heard the man say, or I heard Christ say, "Do you want to be healed?" And to me, that was one of those, questions that would result in a duh. I'm lying here, I'm paralyzed. It's the kind that as an adult I might be inclined to say, is the Pope Catholic? But I realized that it wasn't that Christ had no idea if he wanted to be healed. We didn't have to be Christ to know this. No one did. He wanted his expression of faith. And by his faith, he's healed. When I read this gospel now, I read it in comparison to another gospel about a paralytic. And in this gospel, 4 men carry the pallet that the paralytic is on. And with great effort, they climb up on the roof, open it, and drop him inside. Now contrast that with, "Lord, I have no man to help me." So we have on one hand a man who is lying in a crowd, and no one will stoop to help him. And on the other, we have a man on a pallet with 4 men carrying him. The difference is that those men carrying him realize that they are part of a community, and in that community they have communal responsibility. Communal and community having the same root, meaning that from a large group. And in communal responsibility, which every one of us has, we're not just responsible for ourselves, or husbands and wives responsible for each other. We're responsible for all those in the community. Not just the community of extended family, friends, our parish community, the Orthodox community in the world, but everyone. Christ didn't limit himself to the Jews. He extended himself frequently to those outside of the chosen people. And that's our example. We don't just help the Orthodox. We're responsible for helping everyone. Community is a very important concept. As icons or images of God, God is community. Community of 3 persons. And therefore we are part of community. Not just the community of those sitting here, the community of the saints, the community of the world. And within that, we have responsibility to help those who are paralyzed, who experience paralysis. Not just a physical paralysis that we can see, but perhaps spiritual paralysis, which all of us suffer at one time or another. Now, when we think of community and we contrast that with perhaps a hermit, an eremitic monk, we say, but Father, he's out there by himself, or she's out there by himself, praying, contemplating. Where is their community? Well, there is community with God, but few eremitic monks live their lives by themselves. And I'll use the image of St. Seraphim of Sarov, a 19th century Russian mystic saint. And he lived in the forest for a great period of time. But God, in his infinite wisdom, never allowed him to live alone. Because after a period of time of contemplation, and prayer. He would allow people to come to St. Seraphim, and the people were coming for spiritual enlightenment, for spiritual help, for help in curing their paralysis. And after a time, St. Seraphim writes, I became a little bit disturbed by this. I want to be alone. And he would run off and go back to his eremitic lifestyle and pray. But again, God, in his infinite wisdom, would allow people to come to him, lead to him, so that again, they could receive the wisdom and the spiritual enlightenment that he had received from God. And this went on throughout his entire life. Such is the life of many eremitic monks. We all live in community, even those who choose, or are chosen, I should say, to live in the world. Or in the forest, in the desert. So understanding that we all have this communal responsibility, contrast those two Gospels. 4 men recognizing their responsibilities, and, Lord, I have no one to help me. And consider where we are. Are we part of that mass of people who are all around that paralytic at the sheep's pool, ignoring him and going about their own time? Or are we the 4 men? And as we leave today, that's the question we need to ask ourselves. Do we recognize our responsibility in community and help those who are paralyzed, even if we can't see their paralysis? But when they come to us for aid, helping them, or when we realize they need us to come to them, helping them? Or do we ignore them? Ignore them like those around sheep's pool. And hopefully we all can answer, well, I'm like those 4 men. That's the question that we need to take with us today. Am I truly a Christian who recognizes our responsibility? Or am I simply just a member of the human race who ignores those who are in need of our help?
Thank you, Father Paul, for that very inspiring message. And thank you for watching today. I pray that you'll get a chance to come and visit us sometime on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. for Divine Liturgy here at Saints Raphael, Nicholas, and Irene Greek Orthodox Church in Cumming, Georgia. We're just about 45 minutes northeast of downtown Atlanta, and you're invited to come and be with us. We have a Sunday school program for all ages on Sunday mornings and a wonderful time of faith and fellowship right after the Divine Liturgy. You're invited. We look forward to seeing you, and I'll see you again next week.